Next question.
Did you get that?
You got that? There's a few more still. We'll just go through. All right, so I decided that I was ready to be more active. That the worst that could happen is that I learn something. I usually have business meetings at Panera Bread. I never ever thought of exercising my right until today. I made up my mind that this was going to work, and my conviction almost startled me while I was talking to the cashier, a European woman. I was friendly and respectful. I let her do most of the talking. She talked herself into asking the manager, "Hey, do we do tax exempt?" And the manager walked up and pointed out the tax exempt key on the register, and she asked me if I had a number. I gave her AA222141 and handed them my nationality card and pointed to the bottom of it, and that's all that was needed. Receipt is attached. So that's just another testimonial for all the Moors out there who's pushing this. Moors have to pay taxes, and Moors need licenses, and Moors better pay their taxes if they, and all this type of stuff. Don't even let these Moors fool you out of your birthright. No taxes applying. That's just what it is. Right?
I'm pretty sure that too.
Brother Sheikh Pudro Adwa El, it is a great pleasure I greet you, Islam. May the peace and blessings of our Father God Allah be upon you and yours. My name is Nobleman Fahim Ali Bey. I've been a member of the Moor Science Temple for at least 19 years. I was nationalized at Temple number 23, located in St. Albans, Queens, New York, 1996, under the presiding Grand Sheikh Khalif Bey. I'm currently domiciling in the land of my birth, Trinidad and Tobago, where I have been for the last 3 years. I'm currently in the process of establishing a temple branch of MSTA here in Trinidad. My exploration so far has led me to believe that many persons are open and willing to accept the teachings of the Moorish paradigm, those of whom includes many common folk as well as religious leaders who consider such information to be of value. I have many plans, both long and short term, of which I've been discussing with some of the persons with whom I have shared the Moorish information. They're interested in forming and establishing a temple as well as subordinate organizations. So that's how the word's spreading. That's how the word's getting out. That, you hear them talking about starting up temples in Trinidad and stuff like that. You know that something's going on with regard to this. You know what I mean? You know that something's going on. Yeah. You know, different than, when Moors used to read about, Joe Ali coming to Toronto to do classes and stuff like that, and now there's temple here. You know, I mean, certain Moors who are already here or whatever, they already know that that's manifestation of prophecy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Greetings of peace. I'm 20 years old and I haven't yet learned to operate an automobile. I believe it is about time I learned how to operate one. I know I do not require a permit or license to travel, but many do not believe otherwise. So for the sake of not inspiring fear in others, or have them believe what we are doing is against the law, I want to get a permit so I can learn in peace and without hassle. Now I know that whatever contract I sign, I reserve my rights. My question is, what are some challenges I may face in regard to reserving my rights on these contracts? Also, should I use a strawman or free national appellation? Should I use corporate ID or nationality card? Pretty much, how do I do this intelligently as a Moor as opposed to a corporate slave? Well, if you're doing it as a Moor, you won't be giving them a license. That's a start. Doing it as a Moor. And then keep in mind that you're talking about a permit. or you're talking about quote unquote driving instruction, whatever, where if you are wanting to get the permit to learn to drive, then you're gonna have to go to them. That's just what it is, right? Because the permit, the guy who's running the class is more than likely gonna have to make sure that everybody has some type of corporate ID or whatever like that in order to make them go through the class. So I know, that's how they run it here, right?
Yeah,
You have to get a G1 or whatever, right? Yeah, G1 before you can go to the thing. So it's not, learning is not a negative. Like somebody told me a couple weeks ago. They were same thing, you know what I mean? They want to learn to drive or whatever like that. So they went, they got their little permit thing, and there were all these different classes that they can go to. And they said, you know what, I'm gonna go to this guy's class just because, you know, it's up the street from my house or whatever. So they went to the class under the mentality of, you know, driving school, guys gonna come up, you know, you're gonna be there for 6 hours, put something on the board, you know what I mean, and take notes and whatever. Goes to the thing. I think it was supposed to be a 6 hours thing, ended up being like a 3 hour thing. Because even the instructor guy was like, you guys really thought that you guys were gonna come in here and sit here for 6 hours or whatever like that? So, you know, it's 90 degrees outside, like, you know what I mean? So he gave them basically like his class is like road etiquette. Not necessarily behind the wheel and looking or whatever like that, but how the rule, yeah, you know what I mean, like how to be out there safely or whatever, you know what I mean. It wasn't like this, you know, right now, so whatever. So, you know, there's always circumstances that arise where us having this concept of nationality, we have to not look at everything as trying to violate our rights and whatever like that. Sometimes you learn. It's just a learning curve. You know what I mean? It's not somebody trying to abuse us all the time because, you know, we're under this pressure that, you know, based on that guy tried to be a Moor, he got one, and that guy, oh, this is a hard thing to do, and you know what I mean? They're always going to be challenging us, and there's always going to be some type of fight that we got when it doesn't really go like that. You know what I mean? It's all about the perspective of the individual exercising, right? If you're not looking at it as right to travel, you're looking at it as an opportunity to learn, then doesn't matter whether you have to go get the permit, go get the license, go get the whatever, because it's all learning opportunity. It's never oh, I had to get the license because, and then I signed it, and you know, like that's why we have, you know, the power of reserving rights and stuff like that, so you can do certain things out here and not have to worry about, you know what I mean, feeling like you violating yourself. You know, well, I'm a Moor, so why would I? Well, it's not like you didn't reserve your rights on it, so what's the big deal?
And that's the thing with reserving your rights, it's very powerful. Like it's the most powerful weapon that you could hold, that you could yield at the moment. I have a testimonial. I'll pull it up on my email actually and show you. I went to don't want to cut from the answer, but from the question. But I went to Southern Amexem, Cancun to be exact, last year, and I went with family, and we signed up for those timeshares. right? They wanted to sign up for it, but they didn't have any credit card information, whatever. So whatever, I put it in my application, and then came to a point. I'm just gonna skip over, but it came to a point where they couldn't pay for it anymore. So I called them up and said, "Listen, we're gonna be canceling this membership, this timeshare." They said, "Oh, you can't do that because you have a promissory note that you have to pay." Blah blah blah. I said, "Well, I reserve my rights on that contract, so I can do it." I said, "Well, no, you can't. We're going to speak to the lawyers. The lawyers are going to come after you. They're gonna take everything you got." I said, "Listen, is this phone call being recorded?" They said, "Yes." I said, "Okay. I reserve the right to cancel this membership due to not enough funds, but I reserve my rights." So anyway, a month goes by. I got an email a week ago saying, I'm going to read the email, but it's basically stating that, did you probably say it? Basically stating that we sat down with the committee and they said that, okay, yes, you could cancel, we just need you to sign off on it again. All right? So it didn't say anything about promissory notes. Basically, promissory note is not going to be effective. Right? So they just wanted us to sign off on it again. But what they were doing is they were trying to trick me to sign something to put it back on the paper, what they got. So all rights reserved on that too. And send it off to them. Email me back saying, "Okay, all right, everything's over. Don't have to worry about it anymore. Everything's done." I have the email to prove it. So, reserving your rights, whether you write it or you don't write it, is very important. If you use a stamp, if you write whatever, reserving your rights is very important, and it is very effective. It's 100% effective. Right? And I have proof of it, as I always do, with that, especially. But I'll show you all. But yes, so tell the brother if he's going to get a license, whatever, if that's where he is right now, because, as I said, he's not in the knowledge yet, you're going to get your ass kicked. Reserve your rights on the license and just get it if you have it.
Yeah, and it's like like you said with the question. Should I use the corporate ID or should I use a nationality card? Right? With the understanding that you're going into a corporate jurisdiction, speaking about permits and licenses and stuff like that, yeah, you can put your free national name, but just like we said with the birth certificate, if you know that those instruments are fraudulent, then why put your free national name on it if it's fraudulent? Why not just use the name that's fraudulent?
Reserve your rights.
And reserve your rights. And get whatever it is that you gotta get for the simple fact that you reserved your rights, and then, keep it moving.
If I can offer another perspective.
Yeah.
If you look at it in this sense, when you have a license and the highwayman does his robbery business and pulls you over and issues suits and tickets, what they use against you is the license. So if you're in a position, this is just my perspective, it's not advice to, for, or against, but if you're in a position where you have the concept of nationality, the concept of being Moorish American, another perspective to look at is why put yourself in the situation of having that tool for them to use against you. So for instance, if you get the license at any point in your life, it's always in their system, regardless if you send it back to them, excommunicate it, whatever. But if you were never in the position to have the license, now they don't have anything to tie you to their Unlawful Highway Traffic Act and this, that, and the third. They have nothing to use. And I use the example of if, let's say you're from Asia, some part in Asia, and you come here and you get a ticket. They can't actually give you a ticket because you're not in their system. They can't ticket you.